Howdy, folks. Widget Walls from needcoffee.com here. Back again for another Wayhomer review. Here's how it works for the uninitiated. I have just left the cinema where I've seen a film. That's that. Yeah, thank you for showing them. They've got whiplash now. Hopefully you didn't watch that in 3D. I've seen a film. I'm going to tell you about that film on my way home because it saves time for everybody involved. And today we're here to talk about The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Okay, so synopsis. When last we left our heroes, Katniss and Peeta, which is, you know, life's gotta be hard when you're named after a food. Basically, they won the Hunger Games in the film of the same name, and they're the victors, and are supposed to thus be free to live a life of religious fulfillment. But because Katniss is so popular with the masses, and everybody's not happy anyway because they're not eating, revolution is in the air. And President Snow, played with mustache twirling, I won't say abandon, but whatever comes before abandon, that's it. Pre-abandoned. Yeah. Donald Sutherland, and he knows that he's got to get rid of her one way or the other. And so, because this is a very special anniversary of the Hunger Games, they can basically just pull all the people that won before and say, hey, go kill each other. It's like a Hunger Games greatest hits. And so, that's what they decide to do. And so, the game is on again. That's pretty much it. Okay, that's your synopsis. So, here's the thing. You can tell Lionsgate is happy with how much money they're making off of this franchise because they've sort of updated their whole animated logo at the beginning thing. They've got a bigger budget for their animated logo. That's when you know you're making some money. So yes, they had a big hit with the first film, which was really good. And directed by Gary Ross, did Pleasantville. And they couldn't have him on for the second film because he, as I understand it, he takes a very long. He takes his sweet time to create things. Granted, when they get done, they're really wonderful. But when you're doing a franchise and you suddenly have people that, you know, you can't have them having aged 6 years and then it's supposed to take place a year later, you have problems with that. Remember the Harry Potter marathon of trying to get it all done before they, you know, turned 30. So they had to just move. And so they brought in a different director and things proceeded. New characters, new reasons to have crazy fashion and all that. So, here's the number one thing that struck me about this film. Whereas I think, and I didn't look this up because I don't actually do any research for these things before I hop in the car, post-tinkle. I think this was about as long as the first film. And yet, for some reason, it felt longer. Even though we had, you know, the time in the district, and then the time leading up to the games, and the games, and so forth, it felt slightly longer, like it was dragging a bit. And if you asked me to point out where I thought it was dragging, I don't know. Just in general, it felt like it was moving really slowly. And maybe all of those bits were necessary because of things that are going to come in the third book. I have no idea. I haven't read the books. But that was the main thing, is that the pace of things didn't feel, I don't know, like it was moving very much. Whereas in the first film, it just, something about from go, it felt like it had, now granted it started really, you know, sprinting when it came time for the games, but it just felt like the pace was a little bit more there. You know, as far as the cast goes, you know, Katniss is still Katniss. She's quite good, especially since, you know, she's having to deal with Nothing worse than an archer with PTSD. You've got Woody Harrelson, who's still back, and he's excellent. All of the other young people whose names I can't remember. Josh, who plays Red Kid, he's quite good. The cast is all good, and of course you have what I thought was the big draw, and I still maintain was the highlight of the film, is getting to watch Philip Seymour Hoffman and Donald Sutherland be evil and just go. As I've stated more than once, I would actually just like to see that for about 2 hours. Just the Sutherland-Hoffman evil show. So, I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to a trilogy, it seems like a lot of second films are sort of like second books, in that when you're writing a book, the middle part's hard because you know how it starts, because you've been thinking over and it's like you've been working on the beginning since the beginning, so you've got that down to a science, right? And you know pretty much where you're going to end up, because you've been aiming there the whole time. Because for the most part, you know, even these writers who think, oh well, I don't know the ending, I just write in search of it. They sort of know where they're aiming for, and the ending is generally pretty strong, unless you're in 75% of Stephen King's work. But basically, it's the middle bit that's hard. And it's hard for a bunch of reasons, because that's when you don't have the momentum of the beginning or the end, and yet things still need to happen, and you need to pay off your beginning and set up your ending. There's a lot of things that you have to do, and normally that's done through lots of dialogue and explanations and so forth, and lots of other characters, and they're all doing things and saying things, and that can get bogged down pretty easily. I mean, I didn't like The Two Towers because I just felt like it was too busy getting around. It was like, it was the middle stepchild, you know? That's what it felt like. And it's not as bad here, but it sort of has that sort of middle film syndrome. There's a new term for you, middle film syndrome. So, I mean, overall, it's a very different film in its feel, because things are escalating. More bad things are happening. And as a result, it is significantly, I would say, significantly darker than the first film, even though there's less on-screen death. How about that? So beware of that if you're taking your 8-year-old to see it, because they've read I don't know what age the books are for. I'm assuming they're for 8-year-olds. I have no idea. But regardless, it's got a different feel from the first film, and it's very obvious the third film is going to be way different. At least that's how it seems. If it's the 76th annual Hunger Games, I'm just going to be really surprised. But yeah, decent cast, and I felt like the script was solid in that they had some, you know, good dialogue to get them through all of the exposition and heartfelt moments and whatnot, and none of that was cloying. You know what I mean? It didn't make me feel ill, which it could have very easily. So, I mean, I thought it was, I enjoyed it overall. But there's something, and I will need to cogitate upon this for longer than a car journey, even a car journey as long as this, because we haven't even gotten past
We're still at the stoplight.
Second light. Basically, there's just something about the composition of shots, and the setup of the film as a whole that I felt just wasn't as tight as the first film, not only time-wise, but also just, I don't know, the feeling of it. It felt less refined, I think is what I'm trying to go for. And I would probably need to even see it again, or the first film again, to be able to go, okay, what am I picking up on here? I know that's extraordinarily vague and unhelpful, but I will break it down for you like this. If you have not already seen the film, which apparently is the majority of the world's population, then if you enjoyed the first film, the second film does pay off on things, and I mean, it's enjoyable. I went back and saw the first film again fairly quickly after seeing it the first time because I enjoyed it so much. Wouldn't elect to do that with this one. It doesn't hold together as well, and I can't quite figure out why. But I would say if you're in it, if you're in the franchise, if you're watching these things, if you're
How do you mean if you're in the movie?
no, not if you're in the movie. I mean, if you're in it, if you're involved, if you're in, you know what I'm saying?
I hope the people
Not
in the
in the
movie
film.
went to see the movie.
I understand there was a lot of people in that movie, but I doubt, and I know they all watch these things because, you know, I know they do. Especially Donald Sutherland. But basically, you know, if you are not, oh crap, I'm going the wrong way. If you are not, if you are not in the film but like the film, you should see the film. There you go. You should see it because you probably will enjoy it. But as always, see a matinee and save some coin. And also, kudos for not making this 3D. I'm sort of amazed. It'd probably be like Harry Potter in the third film. They'll probably break into 2 films and then they'll make both of them 3D. I wouldn't be surprised. But as far as cups go, I would say a solid 3.5 out of 5. And I think most of that comes from the cast working really well, and it just feels like they were doing good things with the material. After we get done watching these films, I will go back and read the books just because I would be fascinated to see what they did with them. So yes, there you go. That is in essence another Wayhomer in the can. Thanks so much for watching. If you do enjoy these things, please take a moment and pick 2 of your many social networks that you take part in, whether it's Pinbook or Facetrist or whatever it is that you're involved with. I know there's 18,012 of them these days, so pick 2 and share this video on them. We would greatly appreciate it because that's how we spread the word and get more people involved in this nonsense. So until next time, I'm Widget Walls, and we'll see you on the Wayhomer Reviews. Bye.
Can I sing the theme song from The Evil Show?
The theme song, from the Donald Sutherland and Philip Seymour Evil Show?
It's The Evil Show.
Okay. It goes something like this. We're evil, and we've got a show. Therefore, it's evil. It's the Evil Show. Welcome to the Evil Show.
Woo!
Yeah, it goes like that.
Something like that?
Yeah.
It goes a little
Actually,
something.
no, it goes exactly like that.
Exactly like that.
Not just something like that. Exactly like that. Verbatim. It's copyrighted. Done.